What's up, Elevation Nation? It's Fortitude in 15, episode 399. Next week, we hit another big milestone, episode 400. What's up, Sam? How you feel about 400 episodes recorded?
It's a lot of episodes, man. It's a lot of hours logged with you. I wonder what our kids are going to think. Like, oh, Dad had a podcast. You only have 400 episodes to choose from. I wonder if they even listened to like 3.
Well, if we keep it up from now, your kids, we might be at episode 1400.
True. Your kid, 450? 500?
Okay.
Is that how we're going to measure
Chill.
how quickly Parker's having a kid?
Okay, there's no kid on the
I like that.
I need to make
good.
that public, like literally no kid. But that is funny. I do think about that. Like, if there's anything that people will have as a diary, it's a public diary. People could always go back to this, whether it be next year or in 1,000 years. Well, if podcasting is even a thing in 1,000 years.
No, we're all going to be dead.
Sam thinks we're going to be dead in 1,000 years. I hope not. All
Bro,
right, well,
100%. We're all going to be dead. All right, whatever.
or just on another planet.
Dude, 1,000 years, I think like 200 years we're all going to be dead.
No. Crazy. Sam's a conspiracy theorist, doomsday scenario type guy. So let's get into a positive conversation for today, this Fortitude in 15. We're going to talk about why we think it's actually a great time to be a entrepreneur and to lead with your own life and really build your dreams right now in 2025. And so I think the hot take to start with is, for me, I think there's no better time in history to build your own thing. There really isn't. And the reason why I say that, Sam, is you got the internet, right? Of course. Social media, right? Of course, you see people posting one video and going viral. Next thing you know, they have a massive business right in front of them. But also, there's this like AI craze going on. And I think AI can help with a lot, but also to your point, like we talk about all the time, you could literally just become like a plumber. You could become a coffee shop owner. Like you could be someone. I mean, I see a guy that works at McDonald's flipping burgers or Domino's flipping pizzas. He's gone uber viral, and now he's got his own business just because he was posting videos. And so I think today, in the day and age of the social media and internet, there's not a better time to become a creator of your own life. What do you think about that?
I guess I'm curious, what's the debate? If this is a great time or not? If there was a better time? Like, what are we debating?
Do you think it's a good time to be a creator or not? Or an entrepreneur?
I don't think there was any other time to be a creator. Right? Social media's brand new.
Let's spin it to entrepreneur.
It's an interesting question. Yeah. Right? Like, sure, we have all the tools. You can learn skills. It's an incredible world where you can make a ton of money. You can create content, which is a brand new revenue stream that complements businesses, not just used as a marketing play, to your point, Parker. But I do think there is a lot of anxiety that comes with that. So sure, you can be more successful, scale quickly, be bigger, have a bigger impact. But I would say when you lived in, a north suburb of Chicago in a small town where all you knew were the 5 towns around you, and you wanted to start a pool company in high school, that could grow. And you didn't have these pressures to make it into something insane. It was, let me just grow and scale this business to be my full-time job. And I think oftentimes we confuse opportunity and scale with better. You're spot on. We can make more money. You can make more of an impact. You can have your hands in 1,000 different pots and you can go uber viral, right? That can happen in 2025. But I challenge you, this is a mindset podcast. Do you think there were happier entrepreneurs in the 50s and 60s and 70s than there are now?
Happier? That's going to be hard to define here, Sam. I think there were probably, actually, I don't know. I think there were less entrepreneurs, but the ones who were willing to take a chance on themselves, and I think about my grandparents and great-grandparents, right? They were entrepreneurial by spirit. I believe like my great-grandfather, when he came and settled in Nashville or Knoxville, Tennessee. My grandma's dad like ran a jewelry store of some sort, a diamond store. I don't know. I forget. But that's entrepreneurial. He was just trying to make a buck so he could like live. Will I say he was happier? I have no idea. He was dealing, people back then, especially from where we come from, were dealing with a lot of different stresses and pressures than we do today. What I'm saying is I like your point that when we think about a business or becoming an entrepreneur, I think social media kind of romanticizes or glorifies building the next big thing, being the next big creator, building the next big company that's going to make you millions and millions and millions. But yet there's so many people out there who can build a much smaller business, not need to care about making millions, but how about like $100,000 a year? To your point, running a pool company, or like my stepbrother Mike, right? Running a dog walking company. And he's been doing that now for years and years and years. And he lives a really nice life because of that. I think social media glorifies a little bit this idea that you become this big thing. But there's so many other avenues and paths that you can take to live a meaningful and fruitful life that is beyond the normal, like cut and dry corporate job career that you would take.
Yeah. I'm glad you picked up on what I was putting down, because I think in our 2025 era, you either need to build a SaaS company that can scale, you need to get acquired or have a valuation of a couple $1 million to be legit, or you need to go viral and be an influencer.
That's not what you believe. That's I
think what society would call successful as an entrepreneur. Those three routes, right? You get into Y Combinator, you have a huge valuation.
30 under 30.
Yeah, right? Whatever, I think that's just different. Like whatever happened to being super entrepreneurial, like starting with one pool cleaning company and then going up to 5. That's still pretty successful in my book.
I think one pool company just in general.
Fair. Yeah. And then I think it just, you look at these people, entrepreneurs, and I'm a huge hypocrite right now by saying all this because I do want all those things. But you see them grind and grind towards the next thing. And are they happy? Do they wish maybe they didn't? Do they wish maybe they had a normal job? I look at my dad, who's an entrepreneur, has his own small business, just a couple employees. He doesn't want to stop working. He loves what he does, loves his clients, has an incredible time doing it, and built that up. And that's been his career. And guess what it allowed him to do? Coach all my soccer and baseball teams, make sure he was there for me. Worked at home a ton, was around the house a lot. He's not an influencer. He didn't have a millions of dollar valuation. He wasn't in Y Combinator. But I think this generation would look at that and say, oh, well, that's not entrepreneurship enough. He didn't, make content, have his journey documented. He didn't get $1 million valuation. He didn't scale to an enormous level. Like, all that comes with more work and more responsibility, more headaches. So how do we find that sweet spot in entrepreneurship where now it's a great time to be an entrepreneur? I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. But find the right amount of entrepreneurship for you.
A good point. And I think that's kind of what we're on the mission to help people do, Sam, and what we're uncovering through the podcast is what is that purpose for people to elevate their mental fortitude to be a leader in whatever they do, right? We bog it down into our mental motto. We bog it down into what makes you you. Why do you drive and elevate each and every day? I look at your dad, like he knows his purpose so clear, not just through his work, but through his meaning in life. We look at all these other entrepreneurs who continue to push themselves, but they're grounded by that mission, that purpose in their work, and that keeps them going. But we've also talked with entrepreneurs who aren't sold on their purpose in their business, and maybe they burn out. Maybe they hate what they do, but yet they're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. With Elevation Nation, we're bounded by the purpose of why we're doing this, and I think that's what kept us going to 400 episodes, 5 years, right? Is because we believe in this more than the financial reward. And I think if it's an incredible lesson that we've learned, Sam, and that entrepreneurs will continue to learn, is that if you really want to build something, you got to be grounded in that purpose and know really why you're doing it beyond possibly, it could be to make money, but also to make an impact. Because if you're not aligned with the purpose of the business or what you want to do each and every day, it's just not going to work in the long run, dude. But I agree with you. There are more entrepreneurs than ever. I know people have side hustles more than ever. People are posting more than ever. I'm pretty sure like Gen Z, they want to become like, I read a stat, it was like YouTuber, influencer, TikToker. Like those are the most popular professions now. Probably entrepreneur on there.
I mean,
But
listen,
man,
nearly 60% of Gen Z want to be entrepreneurs, and 40%
Oh, really?
already have a side hustle. That's from a 2023 stat. 40%
Wow.
have a side hustle. Think about all right, I don't know if you have a similar story. I'll tell this one quick. Like when I was in high school, I was playing basketball and football, had practice all the summers, but my mom was like, you need a job. You need to make money. You need to learn how to be an adult. You need to go into the real world. And instead of me even thinking the possibility of, well, Mom, let me try to be an entrepreneur. Let me find this opportunity. I was like, I'll go work at the mini golf course in town. Granted, taught me a ton about customer service and people skills and communication. The most incredible summer job. Shout out Parking Skill Golf in Lincolnshire, Illinois. Parker's been with me. It is the best mini golf course in the world.
it's pretty top notch.
It's sick. But to that point, I just got a job, minimum wage job. And I assumed that my worth was tied to the $8.75 I made an hour or whatever minimum wage was. And I would stand there in the heat, counting by the hours, waiting for the day to be done, and saying how many Chipotle burritos I earned. Now, I think people's minds are open to limitless possibilities at a younger age because of technology, YouTube, TikTok, where we can learn all
See
these
what's out
skills.
there.
They see it out there. Like I didn't even know that would have been an option for me. I was like, no, I'm just gonna go work at the mini golf course.
I mean, that sounds
Crazy
pretty
times.
nice. It's crazy. And we all paint this picture in our head that we need to go one way or another. But to be a resilient leader, to continue to elevate each and every day, you got to figure out what's in for you first. What's your purpose? What's your personal purpose? Does it align with how you're spending your time each and every day? And if it does, amazing, keep going. If it doesn't, keep going, but maybe consider that there's better things out there for you. So we'll leave you with that, Elevation Nation. I mean, good conversation about entrepreneurship, and it's a special time to be an entrepreneur. But remember, try to align it with you, because that's what matters most. Any elevator shout outs this week real quick, Sam? We got 1 minute before this Fortitude 15 is up.
Hell yeah, I got an elevator shout out. Let's see. My shout out today is going to be elevator 198, Shira Bernard. Incredible human. And I guess it's ironic we're talking about being an entrepreneur at a young age. Started her company at 16, got on Shark Tank, got a deal, is crushing it. Like, absolutely incredible path. To your point, no better time to be an entrepreneur and no better time to be an elevator.
I would have to second that. Retweet everything, reshare. I love the thought.
All right, Elevation Nation. Until next week. Peace.